We are moving to our next speaker, Francois. The floor is yours. I'll be sharing this this picture if you don't mind. Okay.
That's fine. That's fine. I think, can you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I think you should actually put Daniela's slides on because I'm going to talk about her slides. And thank you for orchestrating our meeting, our discussions, her before me, because I'm going to tell a story. I don't have slides today because it's my life that I'm going to discuss. And I'm going to ask the big question, why? Why are we doing this? Because in principle, Daniela can really put her slides on. In principle, we can say that this is a waste of money. This is very, very expensive stuff we're talking about. So why should we do that? Daniela said she's in a country, Croatia, and she's in areas where there may not be all that much money. So why? Now, I will answer the question as I go on, but I feel it's very important, especially when you hear what I'm doing. I'm a guidance navigation and control engineer in a weapons company. So I build guided missile systems. I build unmanned aircraft that is used for such activities. So how did I get here? And I think the important part is that I had a dream. And my dreams, and if you have a dream and you sell space as the dream to kids, then they dream for the stars and they reach literally for the stars and they might hit the mountain peak. And let me explain what that means. Is that as a child, I remember a couple of years back, I saw that my second birthday cake was an aircraft. I was 2. So I must have been obsessed with aircraft. But my grandfather had the whole range of National Geographics going from 1960 to 1970. And every month there was an article in the National Geographic about the space race. Every month I saw the Freedom, the Apollo, the Gemini, the guys inside the spaceship, the guys outside the spaceship. I was 5 years old, 10 years, 13 years old, and I became so passionately obsessed with space. You wouldn't believe it. And then when I was 15, I saw there was a project. I'm South African. There was a project at the university close to us where they were building a microsatellite. And I said, one day I'm going to work on that project. When I was at grade 12, we visited the university and I realized that, and we visited that lab. And I said, one day I'm going to study there. And that stayed the passion, it stayed the motivation that one day I want to work in space. But so what? It's just something. At the end of my 4th year, that stayed the motivating factor. The professor came to me and said, do you want to do your master's degree on this satellite? Sunset satellite was 1998. And I worked on it. I did the orbit propagation, some of the control systems and so on. And I was there with the launch. And it was awesome. Guys sitting there had tears in their eyes. They tried for 15 times to launch. And when they launched, it was like this emotional aspect. And the first day they switched on, we could hear the modems going, and the data came down, and it was awesome. 3 o'clock in the morning, guys were in the ground station, working tomorrow, coming to hear the sound of the satellite. Why? Because they were passionate about what they were doing. They were dreaming about the stars, and they hit the stars, literally. Okay, and then, but I'm not working in satellites today. And then at the end of that year, a guy came and they invited me for an interview at their defense company. Okay, I wanted to work in space. And then I went there, and the first time in my life, remember this was 1999, I saw a thing called an unmanned aerial vehicle, a UAV. And I looked at it the next moment, I realized, oh, but the satellite has a comm system and the UAV has a comm system. The satellite has a computer, and the UAV has a computer, and a control system, and a sensor, and a body, and software, and all of these things. And then I realized that my space work, my space passion, was absolutely in line with where I'm going, and I hit the tip of the mountain, not space. So I was aiming for space. I had stars in my eyes, but I hit the top of the mountain. And now I come back. Why? Daniela showed these brilliant photographs of the kids. Will all of them work in space one day? No. Some of them will work in internet companies as programmers, but they'll be excited about technology. And in Africa, my passion is for Africa. We cannot, I need to quote the guy, Benjamin Bonzo. He's from Ghana. He's currently working in Tokyo, and introduced me University of the Nations in Ghana. They started the project building ground stations for satellites. It is relatively cheap, but they're still introducing the kids to space thinking, shooting for the stars, and all of that technology afterwards, because the kids were excited about something, they got exposed to a similar technology, and that is empowering to the industry around them. And we need kids in Africa and around the world who are excited about technology, who are passion driven, and whose passion is unlocked. And I see if we shoot for the stars, we unlock a passion. I think Daniela actually used similar words. So thank you for that presentation. It really moved me. So I am representing myself, but I work in a company, Halcon, in the UAE, but I'm also representing a company, A.R.T, Advanced Rocket Technologies. I'm presenting courses through them about this, about following your passion, thinking in systems. And they have courses about orbital technology and orbital stuff, with all the math and how to think and design, but also these CubeSats, also these kids. Why? To make kids excited about technology again, because nobody's fiddling in the car anymore, but they need to be excited. And that's why I'm here. And that's the story I have, because I'm still excited about life, and I'm 49 years old. That's my story.
Thank you so much. It's amazing.